able to measure the top of her head to her soft tissue menton. As predicted, her facial width to facial height was very close to 1 to 1.618. Iyan nga yun na nakita niya. Okay? Kaya pala may mga tao na, hindi naman ganun kaganda yung eyes niya, hindi naman ganun katangos yung ilong niya. Pero bakit maganda siya? No? Because of proportion siya. Yung iba naman pag babae tapos sobrang kitid ng ilong, no? Sobrang haba ng lower face side, nagmumukha silang lalaki, no? So hindi proportion. So Figure 7 shows short face, long face, and ideal face. Note that the faces that do not conform to the divine proportion have aesthetic and physiologic problems. Long faces tend to have a nasal obstruction and breathing problems. Kaya common sa India, yung may mga breathing problems sa mga ka-occasion na sobrang kikitid na mamuka, no? Short faces tend to have a temporomandibular disorder and headaches. Ideally proportioned faces tend to have minimal physiologic problems. Ayan, no, mga long face, no? Kaya ito mga long face, nakita mo yung lips nila hindi na maisara, nakanganga, kasi humihinga na sila sa bibig dahil may airway problem na sila. No? Yung mga short face, may mga TMD. Okay? This is the ideal face. So pag tiningnan mo pala yung mukha ng tao pa lang, makikita mo na if this one has a physiologic problem, na later on ba, magkakaproblema ba ako dito sa ortho ko? Okay? In order for facial profile to be beautiful, it must also conform to the divine proportion. Kung kanina pinag-usapan yung nakaharap, ngayon naman yung nakalateral, nakaside yun naman. However, of all that attended who took Dr. Jefferson seminars in US and around the world, almost 100% selected one profile as being the most beautiful, and that was profile F. Ito yung napili. Conforms to the divine proportion. Profile F is not only beautiful but physiologically healthy. Kung titingnan mo, ayan, no, retruded yung mandible, no, makikita mo, the profile is convex. Okay. Ito naman, ang iksi ng lower face height niya. This one naman, reverse, no, naka-counterclockwise, concave siya. This one naman is sunken, no, masyadong mababa na yung vertical dimension, nakapasok pa yung both. Ito naman is both retruded ang upper and lower, no? Parang meron kayong tinways na ganyan. This one is divinely beautiful and physiologically healthy. Okay. May mga website that will explain the correlation of divine proportion to beautiful profile. Ito, yan nyo lang yan. I-click nyo lang yan do sa handouts na binigay ko sa inyo at lalabas lahat. Ayan siya. Paano tinitake ang ideal profile based on the divine proportion. Kaya pala yung mga ngayon sa Miss Universe, no? Parang nananalo pa yung mga ganyan na mga itsura, no? So profile must based on divine proportion. Ayan. So Dr. Jefferson developed the Jefferson cephalometric analysis, which is modified and abbreviated version of Sassoon archial analysis to help assess upper saan ba yun? Upper and lower jaws, and to assess whether the face is normal, too short, too long, a lateral head, and X-ray is taken, and then ideal facial skeletal landmark is traced over and an overlay. Yan. And is shown to explain how to interpret the Jefferson cephalometric analysis. So, this is the patient profile. And then, katulad ng ginawa natin, nag-tracing tayo ng Ceph, no? And then what we need to identify, that's why I asked you to get the inferior orbitale and then the superior inferior sella and then the superior orbitale. And then para makuha natin tong archial. So ito yung palatal plane, occlusal plane, and then the mandibular plane. Okay. So, parang walis siya. Kukunin natin yung point na yan later on. Ito yung pinaka it's the middle between the most inferior and the most superior. Okay. Para ka bang nagbig kiss ng walis. Kung saan doon nagbig kiss, doon naglapit-lapit, yun yung point na mamaya itatrace natin. Okay? And then, ano na natin to, i-discuss ko sa inyo to later on, mas maiintindihan nyo. And according to him, no, this one, the ANS, if this is the arc, anterior arc, if the ANS is 2, either 2 millimeters or on the same line, no, arc, millimeters behind or forward, considered to be normal. Same goes with the pogonion, no? Hindi kukunin yung point B ha, the pogonion, no? If this is 2 millimeters or in the same line, no? 2 millimeters behind or 2 millimeters forward is considered to be normal or beautifully acceptable profile. And then we can also get the arc, the vertical arc for 4 years old, and then for the 18 years old. Okay? So from una natin kukunin yung age 4, and then we will just add 10, no? 10 millimeters to get the age 18. Okay? Ay, nako. Okay. You can see this figure, no? As you can see, this is a child skeletal class 3 profile. So makikita nyo, if class 2 is clockwise, class 3 is counterclockwise. Okay? So, kikita nyo naman, ano siya, class 3 siya. Ito yung self-analysis niya. No? It shows that the maxilla is, ang kulit ng kapatid ko, deficient. No? Because the ANS is behind this anterior arc. Behind the anterior arc. No? Ang sabi kasi, 2 millimeters is acceptable. Okay? So this is more than 2 millimeters. So you will measure from the anterior arc to the ANS. If it's more than 2 millimeters, no, you need to say this is behind, no, the anterior arc. So this is a class 3 deficient maxilla. And this is pogonion. As you can see, no, this is the arc, the anterior arc. This is forward mandible. So this is a class 3. Okay. And at the age of 4, no, ito yung vertical niya. Okay? So at the age of 18, dapat ito na siya. Okay? So meaning to say, kung ang pasyente na to let's say mga 7 years old or 8 years old, 5 years old pala to, and 11 months, almost 6 years old. So kung 6 years old, i-minus mo nga yung 18 sa 6, so 12. So 12 divided by, oo nga, 12 times 0.75. Every year daw 0.75 millimeters ang nilalaki. So kung 6 years old minus 18, so 9 times po, 9 times 9 divided by 0.75. Yun dapat makukuha mo hanggang yun ang estimated mo na dapat mag-grow kung normal yung growth niya. Kung hindi, you need to do something. Okay. This is the